Give me one more chance. All I gotta do is give her cash. She get the cash, she drop it so fast. She on the pole, she doing the dance. I'm like, mommy, come give me that snatch. I'm like quarterback and she a hike. I don't give a reach out for she rockin' the mic. She got hands, she gon' go out of sight. Take the mood and you buck it or not. She from Melbourne and I tell her she can go get her hair permed. She can go get her nails done. And with me and my crew, she can run. She can do no backflips. I know she gymnastics. Working money flip like ass. In the air just for practice. She like, oh man, just give me one more chance. Will you come back? I'm like, hell no. I'll be gone to November. I'm not December.
Yo, check. Trying to make it back from the streets when it's safe. Focus on the rap game, not the flow, I got it mastered.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Who Got Game. We're coming to you live from all over the country. We are remote this week because a lot is going on over at SLiC Studios right now. Baron Davis's new movie Domino is premiering later this week, and the big premiere party is happening in a couple days at SLiC Studios, so it's being renovated, but BD will be popping on in a little bit to say what's up. But because we are back to the virtual world, it enables us to have even more guests spanning the coast to coast all over the country. And let's bring some of them on right now because we got a lot of basketball to talk. The playoffs, the first round is through, and now we are on to the second round. 8 teams remaining, and it looks like a new champion will be crowned. First, as always, we are joined by the main man with a great mic setup at home.
Yeah,
Pat, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Good. I can't wait to talk about the Clippers-Mavs game. You were there for Game 7. Before we bring on our next guest, just what was the energy like in the arena yesterday?
It didn't really feel like a Game 7, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like obviously, you know, LA is still has COVID restrictions, so it wasn't a full house. It's probably about I want to say maybe 7,500. So it didn't really feel like one team is not gonna play no more after this game. To be honest with you, like they just said, it just didn't feel like that.
But is some of that just like Clippers fans? I mean, I've gone to a lot of Clipper games over the years, and it's a little more casual. No,
because I remember even so I remember covering the Clippers Warriors playoff series. What was it, 2 years ago? And those felt like playoff games. Like it even, you know, they felt like playoff games. Even if the crowd wasn't fully Clippers fans, you just felt like a different level of intensity in there.
All right. Well, we're going to bring the intensity in here, especially because we're about to bring on one of our favorite contributors to Who Got Game. She knows all things sports, football, and the NBA. She's an amazing follow on social media. Ashley Ross. Ashley, welcome to the party. Get her up in here. Hey, what's up,
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back. Welcome back. We missed you. Good to have you.
I'm excited. What a time for basketball. I'm just happy we're not in the bubble part 2. Like, this is so exciting that we have playoff basketball again.
For sure. What has been the biggest surprise so far for you through one round of the playoffs?
You know, I'd like to say the Lakers, but I feel like it was kind of hit and miss all season. I think honestly the Mavs, like the Mavs giving the Clippers this much of a run, I think that that was probably the biggest shocker thus far.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, there was a lot of shocks. That was an emotional roller coaster of a series between no home team winning a game until Game 7. It looked like the Clippers were out and up and down and back and forth, a lot going on there. But we'll get into all of that. But first, I want to bring on one of our favorite contributors here to Who Got Game. This man needs no introduction. He is a legend in the music scene and also brings the hot takes on his popular podcast and here on ours. Glasses, what's up? Glasses Malone.
Hey, man, what's going on, brother? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm so happy to be here, man. TPJ owes me a public apology. I'm just here for that.
All right, for what? For what this time? What is TP? We'll bring on TPJ in a minute to give that apology.
The Mavericks, man. The Mavericks. I told them their misuse of the unicorn will cost them the series. Their overuse of Luka and their misuse of the unicorn will cost them the series.
See now I gotta join in. You ain't say nothing about no overuse of no unicorn. You added that in. You just said that Luka was gonna run out of gas and Kawhi and them was gonna stop him at the end and they would win. And you were right about that. I give you credit for that. I picked the upset. I was literally this close. You know what I was? I was 2 missed free throws. And then the turnover. No, wait a minute. A turnover, I believe, which led to a layup, and then a 3. Which after that, it was. What do you mean? It was a 5-point game. Luka missed back-to-back free throws. It was a layup, I believe, that the Clippers made. A turnover, then a 3. Game was out of reach. It was over.
All right. Well,
but it's all good.
Tell you what happened, but
it's all good. It's all good. I'm proud of my son. He made me proud. He drove what I was told 2 top 10 players on the same team to the brink. With let's be honest here. KP looks like a shell of himself. He does not look anything close to what he looked in New York.
But that's also how they used him. They used him as like a 3-point on the wing, just kind of.
I disagree with that because even when he got open drives to the basket, it would be smaller defenders in the paint. He doesn't even attack the rim anymore.
He handles the ball for like most of the shot. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah. Glasses. Let me ask you: how should the Mavs have used Unicorn KP more effectively in this series?
He's an offensive juggernaut. He's an offensive weapon. He's been fantastic offensively his whole career.
Mm-hmm. He ain't been good since he left New York.
They have misused him in Dallas. You can't turn a great offensive weapon like that into a spot-up shooter. It reminds me of when LeBron got Kevin Love, when he started using Kevin Love the way that you should use Wiggins. You know, he traded Wiggins to turn Kevin Love into Wiggins.
Mm-hmm. Was Kevin Love not all-star with LeBron James?
You're missing the point. To be a winner, right, you have to get full contributions from each of your greatest talents, full contributions. So if you're misusing KP, right, and you're turning him into a spot-up shooter, he never gets a rhythm. It's always a tough out for him. You have to use him better and more effectively in the offense. The offense should not depend on Luka's ability. That's not
why is a 7-foot former guy that used to be dunking on people, creating contact in the post, and doing all that in the lane can no longer do that anymore at all.
Wait.
Kristaps Porzingis is Laurie marketing with privilege at this point.
To be fair,
he's Laurie with privilege at this point. And I've seen him in person multiple times this year. He's Laurie marketing with privilege at this point in his career.
To be
not
fair,
good anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. Even Phil said, is he really even a number 2?
To be fair, he shot actually his best shooting percentages are in Dallas. Even if you look at the play, I looked it up because I was sitting there at the game. I think I put it in like group text between us. I'm like sitting there and everybody's complaining about KP, and I'm like, yo, they don't even really give him the ball. I mean, it's looking like, what do you want him to do? Is Luka dribbling around and then he may touch the ball every 4 possessions? Other than that, he has to cut. Like he was doing, he was moving well with out the ball. Even on defense, he was at least trying to move around, especially for somebody his size. He was just trying to rotate and play like a wing.
Tell me how many block shots he had for the series.
Probably not many, but listen, which again, I don't agree with. I think that he should be better, especially at offering some rim protection as a 7-3 guy. But also, if you look at the percentages, like just look at what he shot in this series and look at what he shot in the season. It's the exact same. The only difference is he took 6 less shots. He was taking 15.9 during the season. I think he took 10.1 during the playoffs. Like, and he averaged 13 points. If you give him those shots, he's giving you your season averages. I think at halftime, Luka had like 30 and 10. There's no reason somebody should have 30 and 10 at halftime. Do you know how much you
say that and you watch the game? How can you say that?
How much? Because he handled
Tim Hardaway Jr. started off, I believe, 1 of 11.
But listen, he handled
16 in the first half.
Handled the ball every single possession, bro. Literally, like even when I asked Rondo, they said if there's 113 possessions in the game, Luka has 108. I even looked it up during the game. I think the top 25 highest usage rated seasons, Luka's past 2 years are both in the top 15. Last year he was top 8. I think this year he was like 15th. And everybody on all those teams outside of Allen Iverson when they was in like 2001 lost at like second round. I looked all this up mid-game.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Luka's 22 years old. He looked like the best player on the floor for the entire series. He's already I mean, to me, he did. He looked incredible. Obviously, they were asking him to do a lot, but what do the Dallas Mavericks need to do in the offseason to because it doesn't look like they're going to use KP differently. They're not going to make a coaching change. Mark Cuban already said that. So what types of players do they need to surround him with? Because they're not going to use KP the way you want him to, Glasses.
Well, I mean, I just think that's a disservice, and I've watched that happen a lot of times. We did the same thing. The Lakers did the same thing to Kyle Kuzma. Mm-hmm. Scorers need to get touches to get into rhythm. You know, offensive opportunities created for them to get their looks consistently. One thing the Lakers did really well with LeBron and Anthony Davis is they made sure Anthony Davis got his looks. Mm-hmm. You know, real scorers need looks. Kevin Love, look at his averages with the Cavs versus with the Timberwolves. Like, you can't win at the highest levels consistently, right, without getting the majority of if your players can bring you 24 points a game, you should get all 24 points. Mm-hmm. The greater players should make adjustment to make sure the best players, on the team get the most. But as far as what the Mavs should do is the Mavs need to really upgrade their defense, right? While I love Boban, you need a more athletic center. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody that's 6'9", 6'10", that can spread the floor because you're trying to keep the lane open for Luka to a degree. Mm-hmm. You need an athletic center to defend. The thing in like what Tom was saying about the unicorn is he's not paying attention. The Clippers are spreading the floor. There's no way he can get blocked. He's not even back there to defend. I think Rick Carlisle made great adjustments moving forward. They need to get more defenders. They have some decent defenders, but just like the original Mavericks, when they won their title, right? They look really sweet early on, very good offensively, just like this Mavericks team. They look really good. You had Nash early on, you had Dirk. They had great offenses. Sometimes they had the number one offense in the NBA, which
I'm gonna let you finish. But the Clippers spread them out. That's why Kristaps Porzingis couldn't get no blocks.
Let me finish.
The 7'1" guy
in the later games,
on the perimeter. I see Anthony Davis blocking threes. I see him blocking mid-range floaters, fadeaways. Don't tell me that they spread that man out. He's 7'1". He was doing it in New York. Why he not doing it in Dallas? Don't blame Luka for that man being trash. Good and goddamn well that man for the past 2 years. Stop lying. Phil was right. We all feel back an apology. I'm done.
TPJ, how's the first thing you're going to say is I'm going to let you finish, and then you come in.
Because he can finish now. I'm done. I'm going.
Okay, yeah.
So right, the thing is they need to upgrade defenders. They need better 3 and D defenders, right? And you need a center, just like the original Mavericks team. They got Jason Kidd. They end up getting the boy from Phoenix at the time,
Sean Marion,
and they got Tyson Chandler, and that transformed their defense to a degree, right? So I think this Mavericks team needs to make moves such as that, get better defenders to complement. As far as Tom, and he wants to blame everybody else. I call it the LeBron syndrome. You're looking for every other problem except the problem. The problem is how bad Luka played every fourth quarter the whole series.
Want to know why?
Is that completely on Luka?
That's not that. That's not. Don't blame.
Because he can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot free throws. So if you notice, terrible free throw shooters.
A lot of these dudes can't shoot free throws.
That's why they can't win power.
Exactly, and also you can't handle the ball that much as a guard and shoot 50% from the damn free throw line.
That's not gonna work out.
You can't do that. Like your backcourt players have to be at least 75, 80%. You can't be 50% from the free throw line because what you saw down the stretch was, I remember the game 3 when they lost, like he getting to the paint, but then stopping short, pulling up, fading away because you don't want to go to the line because you're like 2 for 7, 2 for 8, and you don't trust your free throw.
Yeah, and that's where I disagree, and I've always disagreed with your basketball opinion because that has never been the reason why he stops short when he gets to the free throw line. You don't watch enough Luka Doncic. I literally tweeted it the other day when I was at the game. I said Luka in the pick and roll is masterful because if they go under the pick, he steps back and shoots a 3. If they go over the pick, he goes over the pick, speeds up around the pick, and then once the defender gets around the pick to come and try to defend him from behind, he stops short so he can create contact on his back hip,
like Trae Young,
and then shoots a floater or tries to get contact for the foul. He's not doing it because he can't shoot free throws. If he got the yips and can't shoot free throws, that's a completely different thing than him just shooting in the mid-range. He's a mid-range player that can hit step backs at will. Look at him on any time when he's running pick and roll, and look at what the defender is doing. Look at what I'm saying. You will actually see
only did it in the fourth quarter.
Step back. If they go over in the paint, stop short.
All that changes.
You can't do that in the fourth quarter. You have to.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. He was doing it. He was doing it last night. The problem was it was too late by the time he actually started driving to the rim.
You mean when you are challenging one-on-one?
Wait a minute. I'll let you finish. Let me finish. I did let you finish. You talked for like 10 minutes. What you mean? I'm rebutting to your point. I'm rebutting to both of y'all point because both of y'all agreeing on the same point. Last night in the fourth quarter, when he started off terrible, he was shooting fadeaways from the mid-range. I was literally standing in my living room screaming, Luka, drive to the rim. They cannot stop you. They couldn't stop him when he went to the rim. At the end of the game, when he actually scored in the fourth quarter, was because he actually started going to the rim instead of trying to
one layup and a three-point shot, Tom.
Also, Tim Hardaway Jr. got hurt in the first half, took 11 shots, made one of them. Don't just put all of this on Luka. It's not all on Luka. It's not all on Luka. It's not all on Luka. Who's the second best player on that team?
Game 7 if they didn't have Luka. I think that's the question you have to ask too.
Man.
Like if Luka's not there, they don't push this to 7.
They don't get to the playoffs without Luka.
Getting there is not significant enough. The problem is he's not finishing in the fourth, and it's because of what Pav said. You have to be able to drive, and you have to be able to shoot free throws because you're going to get fouled. And his lack of free throw shooting, I think Tom, as his coach and as his father, needs to focus on his game. Not blame anyone else. If he's having complete games where he's playing 4 quarters and he's performing at the highest levels, then it's a different conversation. But if you're not going to give offensive opportunities consistently to your second best offensive player on the team consistently, you can't blame him. Because at that point, you're turning him into a spot-up shooter.
But I think also, I do think that Porzingis, I think that they do misuse him. But I saw a couple times in the series where he would like have a defender on him. Obviously, he's the biggest dude out there. And he would hesitate. And I'm like, if you don't body this man in the paint, like, so I think that's sometimes the problem with Porzingis too. It's like he sometimes does not fully lean into his potential as well. So I think it's a combination of the two.
Well, let's talk about the Clippers for a moment because obviously they won the series, right? And this is a team I've had problems with the Clippers all season long. Which Clippers team is going to show up? Because one night they look like they can win the championship, and the other night looks like they're going to get bounced in the first round. They looked like they were dead in the water, losing the first 2 games at home, going down 0-2, and then losing game 5 with their backs against the wall. Looked like it might be a wrap for them. But they responded, they rebounded, and they got the job done. Can the Clippers, this Clippers team, win the whole thing, or will the Utah Jazz stop them? Because Utah is playing great team basketball. They've got great defense, a great coach, and a great killer in Donovan Mitchell. I want to hear from all 3 of you guys. And Ashley, let's start with you. Can the Clippers win it all, or is this the end of the road for them? And what we saw in spurts against Dallas was kind of a sign of some of the trouble that they may face against Utah.
Well, if we're looking at history is not really on the Clippers side of going very far in these situations. But I do think that sometimes series like this really do show you who you are. And the Clippers, I think that they've heard last year how, they had the early exit in the bubble. Even this year, struggling at times. Paul George, he's got some demons he's trying to, fix. I think that the Clippers have potential. But like you said, I think the Jazz, they're in a similar situation where they feel like people aren't really taking them seriously. No one's really respecting them. I think it could really go either way, but I definitely give the Clippers a chance.
All right, Glasses. Well, how about you, man? What do you think? Who's going to win this series between Clippers and the Jazz?
The Clippers. This series will be much easier than the last series.
Wow.
The way Ty Lue coaches, I don't really agree with it.
Do you like Ty Lue as a coach? Do you like Ty Lue?
I do. I have to respect what he does. You know what I mean? Again, their misuse of Kevin Love, I always question it. Like, you could have got so much more out of Kevin Love, and that would have made you more competitive against the Warriors every finals. But sometimes he produced results, so you can't say anything. But I noticed back then in that series, what he does defensively is he doesn't like his best. You know, he's been on teams where his best offensive players are he's also his best defensive players. So what he does is he finds rotations to balance the defensive effort of the team. So everybody is using enough energy and has enough energy to perform on offense. We did the same thing in 2018 where when Kyrie left, it took Kevin Love and LeBron James 7 games in the first round to finish. I think it was the Pacers. The next series they played the Raptors, and then they played the Celtics, and it took him 7 games because he's consistently finding rotations to bear the the defensive load of the best players, the other team's best scorer. So I do give him credit because, like I told Tom, true to form, that was going to happen. This next series is different because they don't have that phenomenal player like Luka to have to defend. I really would like to, in my mind, disregard the whole bubble. I think the whole bubble was a fluke. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody did get to play in it, so it works out. But that Donovan Mitchell will never probably appear again. You know what I mean? That TJ Warren will probably never appear again. That version of, Jamal Murray probably will never appear again. You know what I mean? Tyler Hero in the bubble. Even Anthony Davis jumper in the bubble. You know what I mean? The things that was happening in the bubble that's probably not going to happen when the crowd is there and when you on planes going back and forth. And I think the Clippers are qualified enough. I think their coach is smart enough. I think Pat Bev was rendered ineffective because of Luka. Well, Pat Bev will be more effective against Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley. So I think the Clippers probably could pull it together in, maybe 5 or 6 games. I think they're tough to guard. You know what I mean? They're going to drag Rudy out. I think this kind of, what they say, styles make fights. This is a style that favors the Clippers in my mind. So we'll see.
Interesting. Pavy, what do you think, man? I mean, you watch a lot of Clipper games. You cover the team, but Utah's been looking really good. You've been following them as well. Who's going to win this series? Why?
At first the Jazz were my finals pick, but that was before the Clippers got Rondo. Even though they still don't use Rondo, I think the way they should actually use Rondo, like they got Rondo and they still let Kawhi and PG ice at the top of the key, which whatever. But still, I think Rondo's level of just communication and leadership changes a lot for this team. Also with the Jazz, Mike Conley's health is like a real concern. Like Mike Conley has I think he's living like a hamstring issue. Hamstring issues don't really just heal. And so if the same Mike Conley that was on the court against Memphis doesn't appear against the Clippers, I don't think they really have a chance. Personally, I'm still picking Clippers in 6. Like Jackson, I think that was like even the lineup when they do Nick Batum, PG, Kawhi, even when they put Terrence Mann out there or Reggie out there, whoever, I think they can render Rudy somewhat ineffective if you have him way spread out on the perimeter. That's obviously not what Rudy does best. Rudy's the best paint protector in the NBA, but he's not guarding on the perimeter. Also, the Clippers are the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA. I've said many times I don't think they actually shoot that good, but I guess they do. So if it's gonna continue, then it's gonna continue, and I think it'll probably come down to who makes the most threes most nights. And the Clippers actually are the best 3-point shooting team in the league, so that has to account for something in my personal opinion. And Kawhi, I don't know. I think Bogdanovich has to guard Kawhi, but I think they're probably going to go with Royce O'Neal, and he's probably going to shoot 60% again for the entire series. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the series is going to come down to some of these role players, because when Marcus Morris plays like he did in Game 7, or Luke Kennard or Terrence Mann, these other guys step up and make an impact, Batum, whoever it might be, then the Clippers look unstoppable. But when they're missing shots and they're not helping Kawhi and Paul George like they weren't in some of those losses against the Mavs, I don't think it's enough, because Utah is a deep team that plays just really solid team basketball. We could rattle off 8-9 guys on Utah who are in the rotation who all know their role and do it really well. So if Marcus Morris and Batum and Terrence Mann, all those guys, if they can step up and be consistent, I think the Clippers will win the series, but it's a big if. To me, Kawhi's a given. Even PG's a given. They're going to show up. It's these other guys who you don't know what version of them you're going to get. So if I had to pick, I'd say the Clippers, but I don't agree with Glasses. I think this is going to be a much more challenging series than you think it is, Glasses. I think this is going to be the biggest test left in the West. Not to shortchange Phoenix or Denver, but Utah is formidable.
It's funny you say that, but I think those other teams are more fitted to challenge the Clippers. I think Utah, like I said again, is what makes those other players not show up is when they have these crazy defensive assignments. Like initially when the Clippers started using Morris to guard Luka the whole game, that destroys your legs. You can't even shoot a shot. You know what I mean? I don't think it's as much offensive pressure with the Jazz. The Jazz, as decent as they look offensively, they're a defensive team. So I don't think the Mavs are an offensive team. They're going to put a ton of pressure with Luka. They're going to go at you. The Jazz are a defensive team, but they're half court set. And if you pull Rudy out and it's just those guys, I don't think none of them have too crazy of a defensive assignment. So I really think genuinely it may happen in 5. I mean, I wouldn't even rule out. I might, slide down to Vegas and put a sweep together because I genuinely think just it's a bad style for the Jazz. Like I would have loved to. I wish the Jazz played Denver. That's a much better style for them.
Sure, I'll give you good odds if you want to. I say Utah's taking at least a game. You want to make a wager with me? I'm down. You don't need to go to Vegas. I'm in your town. Yeah, that's right. Ashley. You gave a good answer, but who is your pick and in how many games? I want you to lock it in.
I'm gonna lock in Clippers in 6. Also, too, because the fact that they did just have to go to 7, and I know these guys are conditioned, but also too the mental fatigue and just trying to get yourself going and deal with all this going on as well. So I don't think it's just going to be a straight sweep. So I'm gonna say Clippers in 6.
All right. And let's hop over to the Eastern Conference because yesterday the second round tipped off over in the East between Philly and Atlanta. Joel Embiid was questionable to even suit up, and then he did play, and he showed out big. I mean, he put up crazy stats in the game, but it wasn't enough to get past Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1. Do any of you guys think that the Hawks will win this series?
No.
No,
not really.
Nobody does. But the Hawks are really good. So I'm not sure. But somewhere it got lost that this is Trae Young and a bunch of guys. That is far from the truth. They have a great coach, who I've always liked as a player, with the Supersonics, right? They have a bunch of great personnel. I love Bogdanovich. I'm a big fan of their personnel. And you got to take him serious, but again, man, it's so tough for him. Trae Young is getting all the credit, but he's so tiny. It's gonna be so tough, man. As defense, that's what happens to Luka as well. Defense just wears you down. It just grinds you out. And Philly plays really good defense. And I'm watching Doc. That's the only thing that scares me is Doc is their coach. But I think Doc has a point to prove, and he has some real defensive. Some weapons, and I think they'll just start wearing them down.
Maybe Doc's just trying to get down 3-1 instead of being up 3-1, so he can't blow that.
I don't think that's a good approach.
Well, maybe he didn't want to lead. A 3-1 lead isn't safe when he's coaching, so maybe he's just trying the opposite this time around.
I think also too with the Hawks, I think sometimes, and you see this, it's really good when teams can kind of latch on to an identity, right? So coming off the Knicks series, they really thrived in we're the villain role. So I think sometimes too, really having that chip, us versus the world, and really having that thing that you can buy into, I think that will, like I said, ultimately, I think the 76ers win. But I do think that that's kind of a little rallying cry for them right now as well.
To me, I think whoever wins the series between Milwaukee and Brooklyn, is going to go to the finals and represent the East. Do any of you disagree with me on that take?
I'm not going to just jump off the porch and say that.
It depends on how healthy the extent of the Harden injury for me.
Sure. Well, and how about that?
I have the Bucks, period. So, but
how about the fact that Harden played 13 seconds in that game? You lose it, but still couldn't win that one.
Harden getting hurt actually, I think in that game worked out in the Nets' favor, because the Bucks came out when they put PJ Tucker in the star line. They came out ready for smoke, ready to guard all the isolations and whatever. I ain't never seen the Nets move that much. They was cutting all over the court, making it. I'm like, what basketball team is this? I never seen this before. I never seen them play like that. Like, it literally, to me, I compare it to, remember when KD got hurt against the Warriors? Well, in the Rocket series, it was, I think it was game, what was it, 5?
And they never lost a game to the final.
And like it was what game? I think it was game 5, and they played the
They were down 3-2, and it was game 6.
No. I think it was a 2-2 series, and then he got hurt. I think late in the third, and then the Warriors went back. And then the Warriors went back to playing the style they was playing 2 years ago. And the whole thing was, okay, slow it down. We're going to put Tuck on you. We're going to, run it really, really late in the clock and just force you to ISO and just live with the results. And then they went back to ball moving around. It's like, bro, we don't even know what team this is anymore. Also, I think that the Bucks need to stop giving Giannis the ball at the top of the key to just run into everybody. Stop doing that, bro. Stop. I understand
he's like a bowling ball.
Like, just stop doing that.
Why is he not 17 feet or 18 feet? Why is it 25 feet? But I genuinely believe that's where a lot of the injuries are coming to these 6'10", 7-foot guys. Embiid, there's no way you can be jab stepping 26 feet away and rolling to the cup. Same thing with the unicorn. Same thing with Anthony Davis. The same thing with all of these guys. Kevin Durant, eventually it destroys the mileage. You put entirely too much mileage on these extremely long limbs. The limbs are not made to do that. I don't know. These guys are so scared to play closer to the rim. Like, you would think they have to play against Charles Barkley, somebody that's like bruising them or something. It's just weird.
Yeah, the game has totally changed. Everyone stretches the floor so much more now, and I would think the same thing. A lot of these big men, why not use those low post moves and go down there? Is game 2 a must win for the Bucks to win this series?
No.
But I think
as long as they take care of the home court, you feel they're all right.
Yeah, because they may have to make some adjustments. I do think they'll win tonight, but it's not a must win. I think the Bucks is everybody's picking the Nets, but I just believe the Bucks defense is competitive enough, and I just think the Nets have no answer for the Bucks offense. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch the first game, they missed, I don't know, entirely too many open looks that they're not going to miss on game 2.
Exactly.
Also, the Nets role players had some out-of-body performances. Blake Griffin, in my personal opinion, outplayed Giannis. If he can go out there and give you 20 and 14 every day, and it wasn't Mike James going to come out there playing like he Jordan Clarkson or Lou Will, and if Brown's going to continue to do what he's doing, and okay, whatever. But I don't actually believe, especially if Harden comes back, things slow down a little bit. Some of these guys may more so be out of rhythm. I don't actually believe that those guys are going to repeat those performances enough to win the entire series.
It's a great series. I think probably, in my opinion, the best of the 4. There's a lot of great matchups, but that one to me is basically, in my view, the Eastern Conference Finals. Not to shortchange Philly, but there's so many question marks with Embiid's health, and we'll see what happens. That's my take.
Embiid looked really good. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody before something, he looked pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I always worry that if the Bucks, because the 76ers have, the Nets have nothing for Giannis. Just nothing. It's nothing. But the 76ers do have something. You know, when Embiid and Ben Simmons, that's a totally different challenge night in and night out. So I won't just jump off the cliff and say, hey, if they win, I have them coming out of the East. Now the Nets and the Bucks, that's still the Nets and the Sixers, is a different game. Now the Nets and the Hawks, obviously, that's but Philly is real, and I believe in it. They have a great defensive coach. They have great defensive personnel. They can get it done.
And I'm happy to see Embiid too. I mean, for me, my issue with Embiid has always been, I felt like come playoff time, he would look gassed. And I feel like, I don't know what he did last offseason, his conditioning, he looks ready to rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. For a game where he was questionable, you didn't know what he was going to come out looking like. He looked like MVP form in that game. And even, they were down big early, they were down big late, but I basically stopped paying attention. They were down like 20 with a couple minutes left. I turned around and it was a 4-point game. It was like, what happened? They just kept fighting.
The whole time I knew that they were going to come back. Atlanta is a great team, but Trae Young, man, it's just tough when you're that small to do that all game. You know, it's the one thing that, you know, that makes Steph. That is a separation. You know, if he could do it all game, he'd be Steph Curry, and you know, who knows? But I mean, he's been out there proving a point. But I believe the 76ers, I believe Ben Simmons eventually guards him, start putting some body on him, and it's going to be hell to pay.
The only thing about Ben Simmons guarding him is that Ben Simmons is so big, it'll be hard for Ben Simmons to get physical with him. And I think Trae could probably get Simmons in foul trouble. That's the only hope I think Trae would have against Ben Simmons, because he's so small. Like, you touch him, just fly.
The only other series we haven't talked about is back in the West, the series between two teams who get like no respect, no love, no credit. The Phoenix Suns, second best record in the league, a team that almost everyone picked to lose in the first round against the Lakers, the defending champs.
Didn't.
Except for Glasses.
Glasses? You picked Phoenix? You knew?
Okay.
I just thought that it was too much pressure. Like, AD came back from injury. It was a reason he wasn't playing hard. And they started demanding him to play hard, and he just kind of went with it. And I just felt that eventually he was going to run his course. And it just happened just the way I thought.
Well, yeah, I hope you went to Vegas on that one too.
Yeah. I made a couple of
yeah, for sure. And then the other team that never gets any respect, the Denver Nuggets. They've got this year's MVP and Nikola Jokic. Last season, no one picked them, and they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. This year, no one's picking them again because they lost Jamal Murray. Will anyone ever respect the Denver Nuggets and what they're able to do? No, they get no love. No love.
I know, right? This be crazy because I called Pavy and I called Tom with these crazy ideas, and I told Pavy, I was like, Jamal Murray, forgive me, shout out to Jamal, like, no disrespect, but Jamal Murray getting hurt was the best thing in the world because you get to see who was supposed to be the #1 draft pick in the NBA until he had a back injury. He's a much more efficient scorer. He is almost unstoppable with his size. He's a great skilled talent. Michael Porter Jr. is sweet. And it puts shooters around the court. You know what I mean? It puts shooters around the court. Jamal Murray needed to drive the ball a lot. So it meant that you had to spread Joker a lot. Michael Porter can shoot that ball, man, mid-range, 3-point. You don't have to move Joker. So Joker's offensive rebounds are going to be better. So that's a tough series to pick. I would like to believe Denver is going to win because they have more, the experience already in the playoffs. But, man, D-Book is looking like Kobe offensively. So I don't know what that's going to be like.
And all the other Suns, I felt like the Suns players, the thing that was so impressive to me was I think it's really hard to keep momentum in a series. And I think once they really tasted the blood in the water of the Lakers, they pounced and everybody was stepping up. I mean, Ayton, like all these dudes really kind of stepped up to the plate. And you have to give a lot of it's like the CP3 effect. He comes in, he's the general, he galvanizes the troops. So I think the Suns, I'm looking at them like I think a lot of people were sleeping on them against the Lakers just because we were giving the respect to the Lakers. But I think people know, okay, the Suns, this is not the Suns of yesteryear. Like, this Suns team is for real.
Pavy, who you got in this series? Suns Nuggets.
I don't know. This is a hard one to call. I think guarding Devin will be an issue for Denver. I think that if I had to put one person on him, I would probably actually try Aaron Gordon, and see if that works. But yeah, man, this is just a really, really tough series, man. And even like I had said the same thing about Jamal Murray for years. I'm like, I thought everybody was playing like one spot too far up. I thought, Porter needed to be the guy who was the #1 scoring option. Also, like, we all love Jamal Murray, but that was still 21 points. It's not like it was like 35 points that you had to replace.
Bubble Jamal.
Yeah,
Jamal. He went off.
Bubble Mall was crazy.
Like it was 21 points. Also, Austin Rivers has been stepping up. I mean, I didn't expect him to play this good the way he's playing so far.
And Monte Morris too. He's getting more opportunity. He's been putting up great numbers and stepping into that role.
It's tough.
That Aaron Gordon pickup. So I think me and Pav talked about it, and I was like, soon as Jamal went down, I'm like, man, we're going to see Michael Porter Jr. I kept telling Pav, and time I'm like, man, you're gonna see Michael Porter Jr. I remember my boy putting me up on this guy, but the Aaron Gordon pickup is so special because you got this super versatile athlete who can defend. So I think he'll give a lot of challenge to Book more than people can expect. Like he can, you know, he has some great length, great size, great athleticism. So I think he'll challenge him. And I just don't know how well Aiden, who I thought had Tim Duncan as moments out offensively against the Lakers. Man, his touch is so sweet. It's so dope. But, man, Joker defensively, I don't know what he's going to do. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's tough because he was going to take Aiden so far away from the basket, too. Joker's like top of the key. He's a point guard at center position. So Aiden – that far away from the hoop, that has me concerned for Phoenix because he's like the force, the rebounder, the rim protector, and he's not gonna. It's gonna be hard for him to do that guarding Jokic 20 feet plus from the hoop.
Also, in my opinion, you also can't really go small. Like Aiden has to sit at some point in time. He sits and usually do like Saric on Jokic. That's
Which is why I have the Nuggets in this series.
Yeah.
Well. Someone else who has been believing in the Nuggets is our trusty producer, TPJ Thomas. He picked Denver to make the NBA Finals this year, which not many people.
Yes, I did, and you know it. I picked them to make the Finals. I picked them to beat the Blazers. I picked the Suns to beat the Lakers, even though y'all called me crazy when I did it. I picked the Mavericks and I picked the Jazz. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I picked the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. I'm not gonna lie. I was wrong on that part.
Grizzlies, that was not happening.
Everywhere else right now, my bracket is still perfect. Jason, your bracket is busted already.
Yeah, mine's busted, but still, that Grizzlies pick, you had a real chance to do something special there. But Grizzlies,
no, I didn't. I never picked Utah. I'm from Chicago. I ain't liked them since '98.
You beat them. Why you beat them?
Once an enemy of my Chicago Bulls, always an enemy.
You got no enemies. You defeated them all.
It don't matter.
Yeah, okay.
When I was a kid, that was the rivalry, Jazz Bulls. So that's still the rivalry in my mind. That's also why I don't root for LeBron, and I ain't never liked LeBron because he hit that shot on the Bulls in the corner. Huh? That was in like 2011.
That's like people that's like me, that's Laker fans that make the Clippers their rivalry. They're never.
The Clippers ain't y'all damn rival.
Jazz Bulls is not a rivalry, bro.
That's not a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry.
The Jazz have never pinched.
Not no more. Not no more.
Never was a rivalry, bro.
Not no more.
I mean, maybe you said like Pistons, Bulls.
Yeah, like Pistons, Bulls, Knicks, Bulls, Cavs.
In the finals Bulls, 2 years in a row, you are a rival. And guess what?
The Pistons and Bulls.
Ass. But I'm done. Y'all
I think he just wants smoke. Yeah.
No, it's not. I just want smoke. I will never root against the Utah Jazz because Michael Jordan played against the Utah Jazz when I was a kid.
Michael Jordan played against everybody.
I don't. In the finals, I don't root for. You don't see me rooting for the Sonics. You don't see me rooting for the Blazers. You don't see me rooting for anybody Michael Jordan played in the finals because I'm from Chicago. Pavy is a big Chicagoan. That's why he's sitting there looking like that right now.
I could get that if you lost to them. You know,
that's a Chicago.
I don't like the Magic. I don't like the Magic either. We lost to them. Y'all gonna tell me that's wrong?
That's a Chicago thing because Michael Jordan made up some stuff in his mind to compete against somebody.
Chicago versus
guess what? When he made it up, we did too.
Y'all made it up.
We did it too.
Y'all made that up.
Exactly. You're not Chicagoan, G. You cannot be a real Chicagoan and not like no Chicago teams. Pavy roots for no Chicago teams, and he was born there. I don't ever want to hear his opinion on my.
You like the Derrick Rose Chicago Bulls?
Actually, no. Yeah. Actually, no. I hated I loved D Rose. I hated the team. I loved D Rose. Hated the team. Did not like watching them play basketball at all.
You ain't like Tim Duncan either, so we know.
I hated Tim Duncan. I love him now as a
That's how I feel about Larry Bird, Dennis Rodman.
You don't like Dennis?
I hate Dennis.
Why?
Why you hate Dennis Rodman?
I'm a Showtime baby.
Oh, okay.
But what's funny is Pav and Tom would be the first ones of Baron to tell you I'm the biggest person to tell you about how good their game is. If we're talking about Larry Bird or Dennis Rodman or Michael Jordan, I can tell you about their game. I could tell you, fuck Michael Jordan. I could tell you about Scottie Pippen. I could tell you the things that have traumatized me growing up, watching these games. So I know the guys that were making it tough for us.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break from all of this Chicago drama that TPJ has been holding on to his whole life. And every once in a while, we like to open a pack of cards or NBA Top Shot, and they've been doing a bunch of releases. I got another pack to open for us right now. Hopefully, we'll maybe make a viral moment. We'll strike some gold. We'll get something rare. So this is a base set pack right here. We're going to get 3 moments. We're going to open this pack live right now with you guys. Been waiting to do this. Let's see what we get. NBA Top Shot, still this huge thing. NFTs. All right, Ashley, as our guest, would you like to go with the left, the middle, or the right first?
This is literally the only reason I come on this show. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
but
okay.
Let's go with the middle.
Starting in the middle. Okay, you putting any vibes out there? You feeling something? A team, a player? What do you get an image of?
Maybe Embiid.
Ooh, I'd take that. Let's see. Here we go. Our first moment is from the Atlanta Hawks, Clint Capella.
Wow.
Okay, I'll take a Clint Capella.
Fuck out of here, Zion.
It was like a volleyball block.
4-man Embiid.
Oh,
Damn, yeah, blocking Zion.
Ooh.
2 hands.
It actually is a really good card.
That is a good one right there. Not bad at all. All right, Clint Capella. I like that. And Clint Capella, I mean, if there's anyone who can guard Joel Embiid, you would think he's the right guy. There's not many guys in the NBA who could match up against him. That's going to make this series interesting. All right, glasses. Where do you want to go? Right or left?
Everything's to the left.
Okay, to the left. Here we go. This moment is from the Toronto Raptors, Pascal Siakam. Oh, dunking on. I think that's Aaron Gordon when he was on the Magic. This is back from the end of January. Nice move. Pascal Siakam, a guy who was underrated and then maybe overrated very quickly. How that shift happened. All right, we got 2 big men here. We got 1 moment left. Let's go. Let's find something rare. Let's do this. This is from the Atlanta Hawks, Onyeka Okongwu, the rookie, Big O. Ooh, with the alley-oop. Okay, I like him and his future.
He's been playing good minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I was just saying he's been playing good minutes in the
great minutes.
playoffs.
He has been getting it done. I mean, I was hoping he would get more minutes in the regular season, but later in the year as he progressed and now putting it together. So not a bad pack right there. Siakam, Capella, and Okongwu. All right, not bad. Well, thanks for opening that NBA Top Shot pack with us, and thanks to our friends at NBA Top Shot who've been supporting us in the podcast. And we're going to have some fun giveaways for all of our viewers later, giving away some NBA Top Shot moments throughout the season. So stay tuned. Follow us on social media, SLiC's Instagram, and of course, subscribe to our Twitch channel here for opportunities to win some of these packs and moments that we're going to be giving away throughout the NBA playoffs. A lot of fun stuff happening. And I also want to mention BD's running around doing a bunch of press interviews today because his new movie is coming out on June 11th. What? Domino, Battle of the Bones, starring himself. He directed it, and multi-hyphenate always, BD. Stars in it, directed it, and it's starring Snoop Dogg and David Arquette. It's a lot of fun, and you want to check it out. It's coming to theaters. You can go back to movie theaters soon. I'm excited for that.
I haven't been to the theater, but, I'll go back.
You guys have a trailer? They say they come out Friday. You guys have a trailer for it?
Wow, glasses. I'm so glad you asked. Thank you for setting it up. Would you like to see the trailer?
I want to see the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can make this happen. In a moment here, we will roll the trailer to Domino, Battle of the Bones, coming out.
Dominoes, the greatest game ever invented. My great-great-great-great-grandfather learned the game from the Chinese. Then he smuggled it back to America, where it spread like mud butt on ribs.
If you can rock these bones, you can start a cult. Junior, I'm over here rehearsing for this domino tournament. Now I got this obligation. You know white kids is a problem. It's cracking, y'all. The World Domino Championship. We're talking a grand prize of 10,000 big ones.
We can't get there quick enough.
Why are you going to Cabo and I'm going to Compton?
Blow me a kiss, baby. Oh, it's so strong.
Where's Compton?
Ooh, I hope you got 9 lives, because I'm finna eat the cat from the back.
How are you even my dad?
My good-for-nothing Uncle Tom's son ditched you on me. What you know about them bones?
It's basic probability, really. It all comes down to how many variations of numbers you can play based on the factors of the hand you've drawn, and then you calculate the most efficient statistical one.
You mean you know how to play this?
Yeah.
Hell, Andy, why'd you say so? I want the whole world to see me whoop that tweaking bully's
10-speed is in the building. The SLiC. You look ridiculous. You need to get a tattoo that say flammable.
Just bring love and spirit into it.
Sit still.
Damn, Miss Jeffrey.
This is Mr. Walter McDonough.
You got my check, right?
Technically maxed out my credit card.
And so when Miss Jeffries cash that check, then we can go. You know, but until then, you don't want me and the Lord on your ass.
I ain't seen you in a good minute, bro.
Prison. Okay, right. Every time I think about beating blood out of somebody, I just like rub my thumbs against my earlobe like this, right? And I just be like, oh, blood, living this in life.
We just want to know where you're going, mija.
To practice for the domino tournament. When I come back holding this trophy, my seat at the table will be undeniable.
Women like volleyball, ribbon dancing, basket weaving.
Basket weaving!
Basket weaving.
This is my brother.
Y'all know what time it is?
See, you don't win at bones unless you get in the folks' head.
Who next? It brings people together. I know y'all ain't ready.
You working with the area? Just wanted a fresca.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Coming out this Friday.
Let me say
That
something.
looks so good.
That actually looked really good.
It does.
Really
Why
good.
you so surprised, Glasses? Of course it looks good. Let's bring on the director of Domino Battle of the Bones right now, BD, Baron Davis.
Hey, bro.
What's
Good.
happening?
That
I
looks
had
really
such
good, man.
low expectations.
Come on, man. Tap me in. I'm trying to find me a spot. Look, hey, Jay, look what I did to the studio.
Oh, upgrade you.
Let me
Man,
upgrade you
we got
one time. When y'all come back, Glasses, we ain't going to all be cramped up in this shit. You know what I'm saying? What's up,
That's right. We had to get a bigger
Hey,
camera.
that trailer
What up,
looked
Baron?
crazy.
No, that movie looks hecka good. This was the first time you going back to the theater to go see Domino's.
Yeah, I see him
That's
in
right.
real life hustling.
You're always hustling. Domino's coming out Friday. BD is bouncing around. He's renovating the studio. He's got his movie premiering this week. He's doing press interviews all over the place, nonstop. Thank you for hopping in with us. Now, Glasses saw the trailer, and his first response was, "Oh, that was actually good." I was surprised. He was pretty surprised. Why are we so surprised, Glasses?
I mean, because as a hooper, right, and as a fellow East Side citizen and friend of Baron, for this to be his first opportunity, that's crazy. That was like really good.
It was.
It was really good.
Y'all coming to the premiere, right? Y'all coming to the premiere Wednesday.
Wednesday, it's going down.
Check it out, yeah.
Wednesday, SLiC Studios.
It come out Friday too, huh?
It come out Friday. Then we going to Baldwin. I bought out the movie theater, so y'all got free tickets. Whoever watching, they can come too.
Nice.
I like that, dog.
Feel me?
Amazing.
Oh man.
BD,
you look really good, dog. That was really
No,
good.
I looked really good. I was really enjoying the preview. I was like, oh,
I thought it was like a documentary, and it's actually a real film.
Y'all don't mind reposting it, post the trailer, tell people, send me up one time.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
We'll be promoting it for sure.
What did I miss? What kind of hoop talk did I miss?
Oh, I mean, talking about which team's getting no respects, who's going to come out of the East, who's going to come out of the West, what happened with the Lakers, what's up with the Clippers, can they win it all, who's going to win the Clippers-Jazz series?
Is that what you talked about? Are we going to talk about the elephant in the room, Dame Lillard, and Terry Stotts being let go by the Portland Trailblazers? What does the future hold for Dame Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers?
We have not talked about that. I like that topic, though, because you got to, if you're Portland, do anything to keep Dame Lillard happy. He is the franchise.
Let it go. Let it go.
Let Dame go?
Personally,
I'm saying
let Dame go?
I don't know about
because
that.
he has been loyal to the soil. He has stuck through many a rebuild. It's not his fault that he just happened to coexist in the West the same time the Warriors had their dynasty. That sucked. But he has literally done all that he can for Portland. No one would blame him. What he needs to do, Dame Dollar, he needs to take his talents down to LA, let LeBron ease into his Magic Johnson version of his career. Let him just
just happened. So you can ease into the greatest point. Really?
No, I'm saying at this point in LeBron's career, LeBron, and you saw it in the playoffs. Yes, it was the gimpy ankle, but LeBron is looking to facilitate. He likes to pass. He likes to get everybody involved. Let him just get some dogs that can actually do that.
LeBron needs some dogs. LeBron needs some scoring dogs, like the whole spot up.
Dang,
making LeBron do all that. He gotta create too much. LeBron needs some playmakers and some creators.
Gotta take a cut. Gotta cut that pay down. You can't get $40 million to be that.
BD.
She meant to say
BD. Yeah, glasses. Go for it.
Chris Paul role, not Magic. Ease into Chris Paul's role. But I gave Pavy a trade. Ben Simmons.
I put it up. I actually put it up. Yeah, I put it up.
Ben Simmons for Damian Lillard is the trade that the whole world needs. The thing is, Dame would need to concede. He cannot be the best player on a championship team. That's the only thing you have to concede.
He should be the most dangerous.
I agree.
I believe you. He's and I believe he's too small.
I just was saying
too small and not efficient.
You know what I mean? Like I always say, if your point guard is your best player, it's always the weight of the team, and that is the measure of if a point guard can really get down. You know what I mean? And so when you think about Dame having the weight of his team, right? He's a small guy. He cannot go down and get you a dunk, get you a layup when you want, but he can make, amazing shots, not only to keep you in the game, right, but to win basketball games. But had he if Dame was 6'8", 6'9", it'd be a different type of energy, right, that he can absorb because he would be bigger to carry all of that weight. Basketball is still an inside game. It's still a big man's game. And, when you're a point guard, the best you can be is when you have a great counterpart in a big guy, a big superstar who can take a lot of that, interior force.
But they do not. Before, I would just ship him off because I don't think it's going to happen. Because I do like the Ben Simmons for Dame. They get Mike Brown. Get somebody who could coach some defense up there. It's no reason all of them brothers should be playing that horrible of defense.
It's the interior.
It's yeah.
Look at their center. Look at their power. You know what I mean? Look at their center.
Yeah, Whiteside. It shouldn't be that bad. It's
didn't they let Whiteside go? Where's
they
Whiteside?
did. He was on Sacramento. They let him go. Yeah, and Nurkic, he got outplayed and he didn't do anything really.
And then Cantor got bullied. You know what I mean? Like you dealing with two of the softest big dudes in the league. You know what I mean?
Who is the defensive coach, Baron, that you would if let's say they're not going to trade Dame, right? And they say, okay, we're going to give Dame one more time.
Jason Kidd, bro.
Jason
he took himself.
He doesn't want
it.
He turned it down.
Okay.
He
Do you go Mike Brown from the Warriors?
I'm gonna go get Sam Cassell.
Mm.
I'm gonna go get Sam Cassell. I'm gonna let Sam Cassell rock out.
What do you think about Chauncey? Do you guys like Chauncey? Do you think he would be a good fit? No.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that at all.
I like Mike Brown from the Warriors. I think you need to plug Mike Brown from under.
I don't like Mike Brown. I don't like Mike Brown there.
I don't like that either.
Mike Brown, he concedes too much to his stars, and he don't command a. You know what I mean? Like
he does not exude confidence.
Dame is a point guard. Dame has the same magic that Steph Curry has. He can create the same magic, but he plays a different game. You know what I mean? And so he has his counterpart is McCullough, someone who's smaller than him.
No, McCullough bigger.
He was a little taller. He's a little bigger. I mean, yeah.
I mean, he is. He's just a smaller, like for the average 2 guard, right? Like you cannot have 2 guards.
I see what you say. You're saying you're saying Dame at point guard versus shooting guard. Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like
BD, will Lillard be on the Portland Trailblazers come next season? What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. If I'm the Portland Trailblazers and he's under contract, I'm keeping him. Because, like, look, dude, Dame, if it ain't no Portland Trailblazers right now, or focus or attention without, you know, the things that this young man is doing and has done consistently, you know what I mean, even flying under the radar. So it's not just that you're just losing an amazing basketball player, but you losing somebody that has cultural relevance. You know what I mean? He brings in fans outside of the game. And then also, it's hard to find people who can win you basketball games, right? And so the staff, the executive team should trust who they are and say, you know what, we got to get this right.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting. I mean, the NBA season never ends because the second the play stops, all the chatter is just going to ramp up even more. We already saw it during the first round when it looked like the Clippers might lose. Everyone was talking about Kawhi to the Knicks, and, you know, all of this is going to go on. And a lot's going to be determined based on which teams perform and which underperform. If Philly gets bounced in this round or they fall short of their expectations, they might look to make a trade. But they make it to the finals with their squad, they're not going to be looking to make a swap. So there's a lot of things that are still going to be played out.
Is Philly coming out the East? So are they coming out of this series?
I don't think any of us picked Philly out the East.
No,
I won't pick because I genuinely think Philly is good enough to beat either team getting past the Hawks. I think none of us picked the Hawks.
No, none of us picked the Hawks.
I think all of us can see ways Philly can win. The Bucks can. Well, I definitely see I think the Bucks for sure win this series.
I have questions about the Bucks though. Like I've seen too many late in games where I just don't feel like they close well at times.
They don't. They don't have a closer.
You guys will You guys will meet Drew Holiday. You guys will meet Drew Holiday.
Defense my ass.
Drew Holiday.
Now with Milwaukee Bucks, defense my ass.
Drew Holiday.
You need to fix the problem. With
Drew Holiday is the fix.
I like Chris Middleton, but
I like Middleton.
You're not using him right.
I agree with you. Drew Holiday is the fix. You mark my words, it's gonna haunt y'all in this series and in the next. Drew is the fix.
I've been saying that, Jason.
Yep.
I've been saying that. I said
Drew
they
is
should
the
run
guy.
their offense through Drew Holiday.
Right.
Put him in the position to make the decisions, not Giannis, not Middleton. Because Middleton, it's either a shot or you dribble penetration kick out. That is predictable basketball in the playoffs. Giannis has predictable moves. That's predictable shit. I would let Giannis shoot jumpers all day if he has the one-on-one. So therefore, Milwaukee never can get into a rhythm because they never really have any kind of downhill, inside out, drawing kick game. It's always perimeter oriented, try to get a piece of the paint, and you're not really doing that because you don't have, the players. You don't have the players don't have the freedom to create because they have players that can play basketball.
Yeah, they have the personnel. At this point, it's going to be Coach Bud's fault if they don't put it together. They have more than
enough. Playing the 5 in this series, and that's it.
Well, Glass's picks, even despite the Nets winning game 1, Glass's picks the Bucks to win this series. I think whoever wins this series is going to the finals for the East. BD, who do you got between the Bucks and the Nets?
I'm rolling with I don't know.
Might be down the series too.
I don't really want to predict. I want to see how it play out.
Well, you did predict it a week ago when we made our brackets or whatever. You have the Nets going all the way to the finals. Here's your bracket right there. You had Lakers Nets finals.
I got the Nets playing against Utah. So
Nets Utah, yeah.
Take the Lakers off. What
the Lakers busted that whole little bracket.
What happened to my second bracket I did?
Yeah, that one got lost in the mail. That one got lost.
What was my next bracket?
I always do a second bracket, and then I do my real bracket.
Yeah, well, we're working on that second bracket. We're going to do a revised bracket right now, so let's do it right now live, BD. Who you got coming out of the East and the West? You said you got the Nets and the Jazz?
Let me see the bracket again.
All right. Well, we got Jazz Clippers right now, and then we got Denver Phoenix.
Oh, you picked against the Clips. Whoa.
Yeah, he picked against the Clips early.
Oh, man, you picked against the
He was almost right about that.
No, he wasn't. He was never right. He was never.
It was close. It was close.
I did think Dallas. I thought Dallas fucked up. They had him.
They did have him.
Once it went back to LA, you knew it was a wrap. Once it was going back to LA, you knew it was going to be a wrap.
This is Ty Lue's specialty. I remember this version of him.
That is true. He likes the wall.
He makes great adjustments.
He does make great adjustments.
That's crazy.
Game in and game out. I remember saying that in the Warriors series. I said, if this thing goes 7, Cleveland is going to win because Ty Lue is going to make the bold decision, right? And Steve Kerr is a pregame, halftime, in-game adjustment. Eric Spoelstra, watch the game, come back, next game adjustment. So, when you're watching these coaches, you also watching, like, that's why Pop was so good because system says this, right? And then he could always iterate and find, like, random people to kind of jimmy rig the system and get it back going. So I do like Ty Lue. Love his coaching. I like where Kawhi is. If they can figure out how to become the Toronto Raptors, right, around Kawhi Leonard, then I like the Clippers coming out of the West.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not going to become the Raptors.
But Utah's playing the best basketball right now to me.
But think about Utah's Mike Conley's hamstring.
Yeah.
Mike Conley's hamstring.
And it's no more bubble for Donovan Mitchell, man. It's not bubble down right now. It's like real Donovan Mitchell now.
Glasses ain't let nobody live that was great in the bubble. He busted everybody.
Bubble
Hey, the bubble, I could have played in the bubble. My career on my mama. My homeboys was calling me like, dog, get your ass down here. Get in shape. Bubble. You kill these fools.
I can be COVID tested in the bubble right now.
Shit. Let me tell
Jimmy had a 40-point
with anybody. I got a shot.
Jimmy had a 40-point triple-double in the finals. In the finals, bro.
I was like, yo, I'm kind of glad I don't play.
Hold up, Bear. Tell him again, Pav. That was funny in the bubble.
Jimmy had a 40-point triple-double in the finals, in the NBA finals. Jimmy Butler had a 40-point triple-double in the finals.
Bro, I've been saying
no.
About Jimmy Butler.
No. I watched a lot of Jimmy Butler. Shout out Jimmy. 40-point triple-double? No.
Hold up, Jay. I got you, Jay.
He love playing dominoes. I want to get him in domino too.
Hold up, Jay.
Can we be in domino too?
Absolutely.
Hold up, Jay. I got you. Jay, can we do Can we do a thing where we talk about the things that happened in the bubble that probably will never ever happen again?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We gotta have a bubble segment.
For sure.
Called Pop That Bubble. Burst the bubble.
AD's jumper in the bubble
Hey,
was
dude,
super wet.
That should be this week's Fades No Cuts.
Fades No Cuts.
The best bubble team to get there.
TJ Warren in the
Remember
bubble.
TJ Warren? People were like, TJ
Warren.
A bubble team.
TJ Warren averaging 50 points a game. Yeah, he was dropping 50 like Monday and Wednesday.
Tyler Hero was Chris Mullin. Was Chris Mullin. Man was 92 Chris Mullin, bro. What is this?
What is going on?
Didn't like Jamal Murray have 50 twice in the series?
Oh, Mitchell and Murray back and forth. Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell
basketball,
and Jamal Murray was giving each other 50 and 60 every night.
Like, nah, I'm not believing this, bro. What's going on here? What's going on here?
That was wild. That was wild. Well, how about, I mean, the Bucks, they got dropped early last year. Obviously, they added Drew, but were the Bucks issues, any of that? I mean, we're talking about guys in the bubble who overperformed.
No. You know what the Bucks' problem was? They did the walkout.
Oh.
Yeah, they had
they had a lot on their mind during that time.
They initiated the walkout. So their psyche, you know what I mean, in the bubble was already disaligned. So they weren't in real proper alignment, you know, when you start hearing about, you know, the boycott and things like that. Like you can tell that team, you know, was kind of searching for something. I commend them for doing what they were talking about and what they did. But when they talking about just basketball, you know, you can tell that team had a lot of emotional angst and anxiety, and so they were not going to be able to play basketball because of all the things that were bothering them off the court.
That's a
also
great point.
I think they game 2 they lost with no time on the clock because of the foul happened. Then Giannis sprains his ankle in game 3, misses game 4. Like, it was just a lot of weird
Jimmy
stuff.
was there. Bubble Jimmy was different, man.
Jimmy outscored the entire Bucks.
Bubble
in the
Jimmy
fourth quarter of one of those games.
He had his coffee shop going. I don't know what kind of coffee
Bubble
he was
Jimmy
making
looked
in
like
that bubble.
Dominic Wilkins at times.
Man, and the reason why Miami was so good in the bubble is because Miami has the most disciplined regimen of training, working out, protocol, shit like that. So to them, it was almost like they get more of a vacation time than they would, you know, with their practice time and all that shit that they, you know, got to stay on top of. You know, Miami got that Spoelstra, Pat Riley, that, you know, that fear of, you know, that fear of that eye watching you dig. So they going getting some sleep. You know, they got just a different kind of focus than everybody else. You know what I mean? And that's what happened, I think, with Miami is they just had the DNA already built in for like a smaller capacity.
Man.
The bubble. Never again will it happen. That was crazy. Got some crazy games and crazy stats. Talking about stats and here on Who Got Game, where we talk about fantasy basketball, I want to pose a question to you guys. I was watching Game 7 yesterday, Clippers Mavs, and talking to a friend about, imagine if you put every NBA player currently into a pool and you were redrafting all the teams, who would be the one player you would pick first to build around? I said Luka. What about you guys? What do you think? If you could just start one player, I'm not talking for one season, but you're building a franchise around a current player, who would you want to build around with that first overall selection?
Can I ask you a question? Because I never played it.
Please, Glasses.
How many stats go into that?
Well,
specific.
It's a fantasy perspective, but I'm talking about just like the real NBA. Like you want to build around them rings. You don't need to worry about blocks, assists, steals, all that. We're just talking about like starting your franchise with a player in the league today. Who would you want to start with? You probably wouldn't say LeBron, maybe if you're going for 1 year, but he's, you know, you're not going to build your franchise around him. So I would go Luka. I'm curious what you guys think. Ashley, do you have a
I was originally, so I said this the other day, I was going to go Dame at first, but then I was like, nah, I'm going to go Steph Curry. I'd go Steph Curry.
Steph. Okay. Respect that. I mean,
Babyface assassin.
Right. Pavy, what do you think, man?
I would go Giannis. I think he's one of the best players in the league. I just think he just consistently gets used wrong, but I would probably go Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with the 2-time MVP right there. Glasses?
Go to BD first. Let me think.
You need more time.
Glasses gonna pick Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me think.
Or Ben Simmons.
Let me think. Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready now? All right.
You're ready.
I'm going to go Kawhi Leonard.
I knew you was gonna say Kawhi.
Okay.
Because I wanted to go Giannis because I love he's just special. Like, and I agree he's being used wrong. They playing him 26 feet out when it should be like 18 feet out. But what I love about Kawhi is like you get the best defensive player in the NBA that can score the ball. You know what I mean? I just think that's the closest you're going to get to like real basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just enough skill set to go with just enough athleticism, an incredible wingspan that fits today. I could build a defensive identity around him that's just out of this world.
All right. Well, so far we've picked one team that lost in the first round, one team that almost lost in the first round, someone who didn't make the playoffs this year, and Giannis, who has been a disappointment in the playoffs. BD, who do you got?
Hilarious. I would say today I'm gonna go with the big guy, Joker. The Joker man.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, if I'm
nice.
starting a team, and this is just me, like, all right, let me start with this center who play point guard, who shoot the three, who pass like, he's a 7-foot version of Luka, a 7-foot version of Steph. You know what I mean? Like he is to me. He's mean, he's nasty, right? But he has the basketball IQ. So if I'm gonna build, I want to build around him because there are so many like other great players at these other positions that if I can get in the top 5, the top 10, I feel like they're gonna cancel each other out. But that dude is hard. He is a matchup nightmare for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. This year's MVP, and again, we talk about the Nuggets. They never get any love or respect.
Did he win MVP?
No, but if he don't, we ride it.
We'll ride
He's gonna win it.
We riding. We riding. We're riding if he doesn't.
He's gonna get
win the MVP, Glasses.
No, I remember a long time ago when we did the whole fantasy, I had picked him a long time ago. I don't know. Sometimes like I'll be surprised.
That'll be him. It'll be him.
They might slip Steph in there and be like, man, they might slip Steph in there. You just never know.
God, Steph win the damn MVP. I'm done.
Nah.
He'll get votes. He'll get votes for sure.
Things have happened,
I wish
man.
the MVP was given out fucking next week.
Yeah,
for us to kind of wait for the offseason, it's like, man, that shit don't even matter no more.
Exactly.
Then you kind of fuck off their season, right? Because it's supposed to be the most valuable player for the fucking season, not for the entire NBA season and playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So get them fools they roses while the playoffs is rocking. Man, bring that shit back, and then do the awards at the end of the year when people can sit down, really get a speech. You know what I mean? All that shit. You probably
do the
have a better
presentation.
showing.
Yeah, do the presentation.
You probably got a better showing. And then you can announce like an all tournament team for the playoffs, or you know what I mean? Just some like all NBA team.
All NBA, yeah.
Yeah, that's when the all NBA team, they should let me do this shit, bro.
You gotta produce everything, man.
That's right.
You need to produce the whole award.
Man, goddamn, I've been saying that, bro.
I get it. Does D Book
You're already director. You already got director.
Does D Book make an all NBA team this year?
Yeah.
D Book,
bro. It's tough, bro. It's gonna be
Tough
tough.
team in the West.
James Harden didn't play a lot of
record.
games.
They got the number 1 record, and he's
gonna
the
be
number
tough.
1 shooting guard in the league.
So both him and Chris Paul making it?
No,
Chris Paul's
Devin
gonna
Booker makes it. Chris Paul
Devin
makes to
over
me third
Chris.
team.
Wait, so Devin make it first team?
No.
Yeah.
Or Devin makes
Oh, no, they gotta go. They gotta go. Dame and Steph first team.
Dame and Steph, then Luka, then Russ.
Yeah.
No, I can't go Russ over Book.
Gee, look at what Russ did though this season.
Average a triple double again.
He always averages a triple-double.
I know. We take it for granted. That's
Nobody else does it.
And he
But it
took
don't
a
matter no
shitty
more.
team to the playoffs.
Yes.
Bradley Beal.
And Bradley Beal is on that team. Devin
I
Booker
like
is
Bradley
for
Beal,
sure the best shooting guard in the NBA. I agree with
Devin
BD.
Booker is the best shooting guard in the NBA. If it ain't
Clay is
Bradley
not
Beal,
playing.
it's
Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the NBA, unless Luka plays shooting guard.
Technically, I think it's Kyrie, but that's me. Kyrie's technically playing shooting guard this year. I'm going Kyrie.
Kyrie ain't all NBA this year.
Yes, he is.
No,
He's had too many sabbaticals to be all.
He's 50, 40, 90.
But he didn't play the whole year, bro.
He played enough.
So they're gonna put it.
Yeah, he played enough games. They like
I don't know. I think.
What about Trae Young?
He's a point guard.
Luka's first team killer.
Trae
No,
can be second.
Luka's definitely not first team.
What?
Dame is gonna be first team. Steph is gonna be first team. Kawhi is gonna be first team.
Luka.
Giannis.
There's only so many spots on the first team, though.
Jokic is the MVP. He's first team.
Yeah, and Jokic.
Luka is not on the first team.
It's gonna be
I
hard.
think he might be second. I think he might have to be
How?
second just
Luka's gonna
because
be
of the
second,
spots. It's just because there's not
A
enough
better
spots.
year than Luka.
I think Devin Booker had a better year, but that's just my opinion.
No.
No.
Devin Booker shot a better field goal percentage.
Oh, yo, big
Devin
dog.
Booker
I
did
can't
not
say
have
that.
the responsibility. Devin Booker,
Right.
Luka has the same responsibility as Devin Booker and Chris Paul put together.
Yeah, but that's why they're not. That's why they're not going to win. That's their mistake.
But that's all right. He got them in a position to be the 4 or 5
He got them in a position to
When we
lose.
talk about people carrying a team, when you're carrying a team, to
He
me,
carried
that's
the
what
team
all NBA
nowhere.
is. All NBA is. Now,
There's no way you should be on a team with the unicorn and carrying anything. That's horrible coaching or horrible. Something is wrong. There's no way you should be playing with the
Wait,
unicorn.
was
and
BD
carrying
here to
anything.
give his take? We had different takes on our thoughts on Porzingis. I feel like me and Glasses feel like they misuse him because they kind of just leave him in no man's land. So he's not really able to be integrated as much. So, like, what do you think about Porzingis?
Man, I think for me, Porzingis is just he's just not it. He Ilyasova.
Gee, you
know
said
what I
that,
mean?
man. Ursula Ilyasova, dog. Come on.
As
G.
far as-
What
as
you
far as
on
what-
with KP, bro?
As far as what he does, he sets picks, he pops up. Like, of course, he's way more talented, but the way he's used is like Ilyasova, a pick and pop guy, right? He shoot long threes. He don't post. I don't know how good Porzingis is, to be honest.
I know.
I
how-
think Porzingis knows how good he is.
Every time I see
I know how
Porzingis,
good Porzingis is.
every time I see Porzingis, I think like, okay, like he out there, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like he out there, he out there.
All
but
you
I
gotta
ain't-
do,
Dog,
all
hold
you
on, I
gotta
ain't
do,
seeing no magic,
all you
bro.
gotta do.
I ain't saying like, oh my God, who the fuck is that? No, I'm not seeing that.
He's not getting the
I'm
look.
seeing that from him. I don't give a fuck how he's being used. What are you doing when you're out there? You ain't
Kevin Love,
Who
BD.
was that? Damn, I ain't never. Oh, that's Porzingis.
Kevin Love from Minnesota
Love.
was totally different than Kevin Love with LeBron. Chris Bosh with Toronto was totally different than Chris Bosh with the
But
Heat.
Chris Bosh was Chris Bosh.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was a fraction of himself.
What are you talking about?
Chris Bosh was, he was
He
much,
was a better
no,
version of himself.
no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Smoking crack. bro.
No.
Those guys weren't needed to put up the same types of
You are
numbers.
smoking
That's
crack.
why they.
Exactly.
That's why they won 2
You
titles
are-
instead of 4.
Glasses.
That's the difference with my Lakers. That's what we do.
No. I just explained capacity, putting shit on your shoulders. Kevin Love was putting up incredible numbers in Minnesota. They were losing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not spectacular.
Somebody, my coach always says, if you're on a bad team, somebody has to get the points, somebody has to get the rebounds, somebody has to get the assists. Now, I've played on bad teams. People play for that. When Kevin Love went to Cleveland, his role changed, but he became a more important and a better player.
No, he wasn't.
Now, he's not just Kevin Love that you're not worried about, right? It's Kevin Love you have to worry about because It's a different capacity, bro.
No. So I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
No,
he didn't get better. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree. Just listen. There's no reason you should trade Wiggins. Listen.
You're gonna tell me some stats I don't want to hear. So if
I'm
Kevin
not
Love would
telling
have
you
stayed in Minnesota,
I'm saying, why would you? I'm not telling you that.
Consideration of being mentioned as a Hall of Famer. If Chris Bosh would have stayed
I don't know about that.
Would he even be a Hall of Famer?
Bro, just because you misuse somebody and get minimal value out of players that you should get maximum value out of to get one championship is nothing.
Bro,
they have enough talent to compete and become
Bosh was a much better player.
No,
I think
in Miami.
I think Chris Bosh was a better player. I don't think we're Kevin Love.
Ask him.
I think because I even think Bosh stepped up defensively a lot.
They had him doing in Toronto.
I just don't understand.
Hey, bro, let me tell you, because I played against him, bro. He was averaging too many points, and he was averaging too many rebounds, and it was too much responsibility placed on him that you could not put the right players around him to really win and for him to stand out because he is not a scorer like that, right? You give somebody the green light in the league, they will fucking score points.
Mm-hmm.
When he got to Miami and he started being the killer, right? When his points mattered, when his rebounds mattered, when his defense mattered, right? When his stops mattered, he became a better basketball player than he was in Toronto as a 20 and 10 person.
No.
Okay.
What happens is you have to spread. No. You have to spread. I'm gonna tell you the problem.
He was non-threatening. He was non-threatening.
I'm not disagreeing. He didn't have the personnel.
There was nothing walking in the gym that you feared about Chris Bosh when you played against the Toronto Raptors. You coached against him. There was nothing.
But I don't think that's fair to say that Chris Bosh went to Miami and it's not like Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, and LeBron James created more fear. That's not the point. The point is you have to spread him out because the main playmaker ability to with skill. You needed a driving lane to increase his chances, which ruined two of the better power forwards for the last 20 years. If he had a decent mid-range, you would still get the rebounds out of Kevin Love. If he still had if he had a mid-range, you'd still get love and the love from Minnesota. You would have opportunities. But if you have to turn Kevin Love into Andrew Wiggins to win, why the fuck did you trade Andrew Wiggins?
Because he was better than Andrew Wiggins.
Turn him into Andrew Wiggins, right? You put him in the corner to shoot.
You cannot do that.
This is
you have to be Kevin Love in order to be all right. Okay.
No, you don't. You turned Kevin Love into a bad version of Andrew Wiggins.
You cannot.
He could have had Andrew Wiggins do that.
You can't.
He turned him into Andrew Wiggins.
No.
Did not.
Nah.
He turned the NBA rebounder into a not top 10 rebounder because he stuck him in the corner to have a driving lane. Why did you trade Andrew Wiggins to stick the?
And did they win a championship? Did you ever see Kevin Love play?
You would have won 4.
Remember, they used to talk about, Kevin Love can take a rebound and outlet it down the court. You never seen that till he did it with Cleveland. You never seen him do that in Minnesota, right? They never showed that shit. They just showed Kevin Love scoring 40, getting 20. Somebody has to get the points when your team sucks.
Right.
It's not about the reason
somebody
why
has to
rebound is because he's never. B, you have to acknowledge.
Team glasses,
B, you have to acknowledge when you have to keep a driving lane.
Great, he would have put the team on his back. Went to the playoffs with them 40s and 20s. What
That's not true.
Realized was all of his greatness fits better, right, in a smaller box than with all this freedom.
I totally disagree.
But do you think when Kevin Love looks at his nightstand and he sees his ring, do you think he's like, you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah,
no, he will never say that. He'll never say that.
I should have got some more All-Star games listening to glasses.
He will never say that. No, he will never say that. Kevin Love, you'll never hear Kevin Love ever say that. He'll never look at that crummy wing when they should have won 3. They had enough talent to compete at the highest levels consistently. But if you are minimizing and reducing the greatness of one player to compromise someone else's lack of ability to shoot a mid-range shot, because that's what you're not talking about. The reason you have to spread him out is because you need a driving lane for someone who doesn't have a decent mid-range.
You're gonna find any way to attack LeBron.
I'm not attacking LeBron. I'm not attacking LeBron.
Yes,
I'm giving credit.
Were you that LA person that didn't want LeBron to come to LA? Were you like you didn't welcome him with open arms?
You're watching it happen with You have to be a real LA person to not feel that.
You're watching it happening right now with Luka and Kristaps Porzingis. You're watching it happen consistently in the NBA. It's happening all the time because players are rhythm players. They don't have a consistent skill set. They don't, and that's why they need to keep pushing bigs to have a driving lane. The problem is at the end of the game, you're not getting a fucking layup. That's just not going to happen.
Here's my philosophy on big dudes playing the perimeter and wing. That is a big reason why big guys are getting hurt, because the NBA is using
that's what they were saying earlier.
Perimeter games, and
except Kevin Love, because LeBron made him better by making him play the perimeter.
Turns and shit like that. Those are size 18s and 20s in the lane, and they're not nimble enough to avoid that shit. And so their ankles and joints can't really cut and turn and move like that. And that's why like the Embiids and people like that keep getting hurt.
Glasses just said that,
because and Porzingis, that's why he keeps getting hurt. And that's partly Porzingis' fault. But Porzingis can go fuck somebody up. It's a long-ass game, bro. You mean to tell me I'm out here, I can't run and I can't go get me nothing to eat? I can't hit the lane, go get me something to eat? I can't snatch me something off
the back. Said you don't want Kevin Love.
I'm with BD. I think it's two parts. It's two parts.
You can't eat?
I mean,
is you gonna eat or is you gonna starve?
I mean, bro, dribble the ball in 18 seconds.
The whole clock waiting for a mismatch because he can't take a decent defender one-on-one. Please shuffle the mismatch.
Good point. You can't go get some money on your own. Huh? You can't go get some money on your own.
No, because I have to wait for LeBron, or I have to wait for LeBron.
You gotta go take it. You gotta go get yours.
Someone is a unicorn. A unicorn can go anywhere and get some money, baby. Where is he getting his money? He ain't getting his money off a tip jam.
So let me get this right.
Post up. He ain't getting his money off a bucket. I'm just gonna dribble this motherfucker up and shoot it and show the coach what I do. He ain't going to get his money. He ain't no motherfucking unicorn. That's what I'm sick of his money.
He turned into My Little Pony. No more unicorn.
You want to be a stallion or you want to be a pony? He's being a little pony.
Killing me. He ain't being used right. Bro, it's Luka Porzingis. You are next in line. If you can't get in the kitchen and, hey man, I don't like everything you cooking. Leave me 2 stoves open so I can get me some top ramen. And right. You feel what I'm saying? He can't. He ain't demanding that.
Whole situation I just said right
somebody
now.
Needs to make Glasses a meme. Some of these Glasses faces, they need to make him a meme.
You just explain what I was just saying right now, and then you made it was cool because they won 1 chip.
That's more than a lot of people.
That's not enough. See, I'm a Laker. I came into this world with 5. I was born into 5. I grew up with 5.
Right.
Then when I became an adult,
wait, Glasses. 4. Do you count the bubble? Do you were knocking the bubble, but do you count the bubble chip?
Yeah, it's like a half a chip.
Oh, it's a half.
The thing is,
it's like a ring with no diamonds.
I'm a Laker. I am a Laker.
No
1 ring is not special here. That's like it comes with the territory. It's no reason.
You hating, bro. You hating.
Why am I
hating? Was a better player in Miami, man. He got better.
Just like
I do agree with that. I do. I
think this is what I'm saying. Hey, bro.
I think if they got the Chris Bosh.
Time out. LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh shit! What we doing?
Oh gosh.
Gone for it.
Chris Bosh, LaMarcus Aldridge. Time out. LaMarcus Aldridge was on a trajectory to have a better career than Chris Bosh, right? They rode LaMarcus Aldridge coattail as long as they could. His capacity wore off. They traded him and kept Dame. His capacity for him being consistently great at a level was waning, bro. So LaMarcus Aldridge went to the San Antonio Spurs because they thought that he would be the next fit for Tim Duncan. LaMarcus Aldridge was a scorer.
Mm-hmm.
His capacity started to dwindle. Had LaMarcus Aldridge gone to Cleveland with LeBron, he'd have been a Hall of Famer.
LaMarcus still a Hall of Famer. Whoa, he's still a Hall of Famer.
No.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
No.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's like a.
Talking
What
about?
you mean? He's like, what you mean? How many times All NBA is he? He's going to the Hall of Fame.
I feel like they be letting everybody in
He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Shit. All right, bro. LaMarcus Aldridge. If you think me and Ash crazy for saying LaMarcus Aldridge is not a Hall of Famer,
Can you tell the NBA story
All-NBA?
Can you tell the NBA story without LaMarcus Aldridge?
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
can.
can.
NBA story without having people in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
That's not true.
LaMarcus Aldridge is going to the Hall of Fame. I think he's like
He's a 5-time All NBA.
20,000 points. He's going
That's
to the Hall
more
of
than
Fame.
Chris Webber.
But
And he's not nowhere close.
but
to
also
as
to
good as
the
Chris
but the
Webber.
Hall of Fame is like all like Chris Webber is college pro. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Right.
it's the
Career don't
whole
exist.
basketball shit.
He's going to the Hall. He's going to the Hall
He's
of
going to the Hall
Fame.
of Fame.
NBA.
He's going to the Hall of
It is
Fame.
He's going to the Hall of
it's
Fame.
the Basketball Hall
I know.
of Fame.
He's going
He's
to the
going to the Hall
Hall
of
of Fame.
Fame. It's not going to be
No.
first ballot, but he's going to the Hall of
Why
Fame.
is he in the Hall of Fame?
And he'll probably get in.
Why
And
is
he'll
he
probably
in
get
the
in
Hall
before
of
Kevin
Fame?
Love gets in. For that
Low
one
Why
key.
is he in the Hall of Fame?
And he'll probably get in before Love gets in with that one chip.
No,
was
I think
bullshit.
Love will get in before him.
No, sir.
Bullshit.
No, man.
I put money on that. Love will get in before
No, man.
him.
No, man.
Well, let's let the
Come on,
fans
man.
decide out there watching. Let us know on Instagram.
Bro, I'm out
Comment.
of here.
and
Y'all
let us
fucking
know.
ruining my day.
Embarrassing.
Is LaMarcus Aldridge a Hall of Famer?
I'm hanging out.
Let us know.
Bye, man.
Bye,
we
Baron.
got
We
an
gotta
album.
check out the movie.
I know I got Glasses on the soundtrack. Hey, Glasses, we mixed the album. Come through, man. We about to shoot the video.
Hey, text me the invite for the stuff Wednesday. I'll be there.
All right, for sure.
My guy.
Bring Porzingis with you. All right. Hey, that was Baron Davis hopping in for Who Got Game.
Riling up Glasses.
Yeah, riling them up. But everyone watching out there, let us know. We had a lot of hot debates and topics here. So let us know your thoughts on everything from is LaMarcus Aldridge a Hall of Famer to is KP Kristaps Porzingis really the unicorn just being used incorrectly? Is Dame Lillard going to be on the Blazers? Anything we talked about, we want to know your thoughts too. So be sure to follow us at SLiC on Instagram and Who Got Game on Twitter as well. You check us out. But we could just keep going for hours and hours, but I think that is a good spot to call this a day and call this a show. Who's going to win tonight before we get out of here? Bucks, Nets, game 2. Real quick, who you guys got? Glasses?
Bucks. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, Ashley. Bucks.
She asked her for me. She was speaking for me. She knew what I was thinking.
Bucks,
We're on the same wave.
Bucks.
All right, I'll say Bucks too. Everyone's saying Bucks. They're going to tie it up 1-1. I think that series can go 7, so it would make sense if they win this. So I'm excited for that. A lot of good basketball. A huge thank you to all of our amazing guests, Glasses Malone, Pavy, Ashley Ross. Thank you guys for being here and talking hoops with us. And, of course, Baron Davis. Be sure to go check out Domino Battle of the Bones. It is coming out this Friday in theaters. Check it out. Thanks for supporting us, and we will be live every week here, same place, same time. Who Got Game? I'm Jason Zone Fisher. Stay safe and enjoy the basketball.
She can go